Hello, good evening, everyone. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, great, guys. So today we are going to cover two topics. First topic, your defense in depth, DIG. Then we are going to cover the ISO 27001 framework. Okay. I hope that you guys can see the PPT.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so great. Now, when we are talking about defense in depth, anyone having any idea what is defense in depth? Any basic idea about this topic? Okay, let it go. So in the next slide, you will find lot of definition and formal things. But one thing that I want to clear, okay, in very simple word, defense in depth approach, where we used to bypass the ordinary security mechanism. Okay, for example, what is defense? So I'm giving you example. Suppose a network environment is there, so we will say that okay, there must be some firewall, and that firewall is the latest firewall with all the updated rules. These things are there. Okay, these yeah. So we got one answer. Using many layer of security, so if one layer fail, or the still protect. Yeah, something like that only. Partially correct. Okay, so layered architecture, that is a different thing. Now, from this example, let's try to understand. Okay, now your firewall is very up to date, but the problem is the password of your firewall is admin or root. Okay, so at each point we need to provide the security. So that is defense in depth. Okay, now let's go to the now defense in depth refers to the measurement of how deep the object of feature extent. Okay, is this surface? Then it is used across various fields. Okay, so we have the proper analogy where we have different fields. Okay, but in context of cyber security, defense in depth means simply means that how deeply we are into security. It is not, either we are directly implementing all the mechanism for just bypassing the criteria, or really we are implementing that actually. Okay. I think no, no, actually I got some wrong PPT. Just give me a second. Just give me a second, guys. Uh, Actually, both the PPT have same name. That's why I got confused. Okay, that is also the topic differentiated, but with some other subject. Okay, so yeah, the concept of defense in that aims to create redundancy, ensure security, even if one layer fails. Okay, as he suggested, yes, it's follow the layer. So now what it will do, it combine the technical, physical, and administrative control for comprehensive protect. So what is technical, physical, as well as administrative control? In technical control, we are following all the technical aspect like ACL, access control list, or we are going for like privilege things. How we are giving the privilege these things. That is our technical control. Okay, where we have a fixed user is assigned with a fixed resource, and only he or only the user who actually need that. The concept of least privilege policy that we are implementing, that is a part of technical. Then the physical control. Okay, so now what is physical control? Physical control simply, you have also observed that if you will go to, just a second, guys. Okay, so physical control, if you will go to some organization and there you will find a server room, so usually people are not allowed to walk into that. Okay, that is nothing but a physical control because yeah, that is also a security mechanism. In physical control, you can observe that we have, for example, in banks, we have seen that they never open the complete gate. What is that? So that is a physical control for the security purpose. Okay, then your administrative control. Administrative control simply is it's on administrative level where they are making policies for that. Okay. Yes. And basically here we are using these three aspects for a comprehensive protection. This strategy address various attack vector and minimize the vulnerability. Okay, because how this will how this will prevent from various attack vector. I am sharing a case study with you. Okay, so Pentagon, which is the military base of US. Okay, basically military or army headquarters, you can say that. So the concept of Pentagon is that usually people notice in a day. More than 3 million cyber attacks have been performed on Pentagon. Now the security is that much high that not a single attack is successfully completed. But one attack that was completed, in that case, what attackers have done, they have dropped lot of pen drive nearby Pentagon, okay, or nearby the residence where the worker of Pentagon are living. So after 6 months, somehow one pen drive entered in that building, and someone plugged in the system, and they got the initial access. So in this case, the cyber attack happens, but the vector is not any digital resource, right? So that's why physical control as well as administrative controls. From physical control, they can allow or deny any electronic devices or storage device in premises or not. And from administrative control, they can create a SAT will know any external device will be connected to internal resources. These things they can do. Okay. Then what is core principle of defense in depth? So multiple layers of security are employed to provide overlapping protection. And each layer should be independent to prevent a single point of failure, and continuous monitoring and updating are essential for maintaining this effectiveness. Okay. So what is this is saying that what is the core of this DID? First, multiple layer of security. We have different layer of security, and they are providing a overlapping protection. Okay, means for same vectors we had different approach on different layer. But the twist is each layer should be independent to prevent a single point of failure. On every layer, we have it means that that layer is providing security to multiple tasks, but yes, they can fail only on one. And in continuous monitoring and updating are essential. As cybercrime, they are growing day by day. So in any proactive system, we are continuous monitoring and updating the system. These are very essential. Okay. Then we have technical layers in DID. So technical control include the firewall IDs and encryptions. These control prevent unauthorized access and detect the malicious activity. And proper configuration and maintenance are critical for technical defense to work efficiently. So in technical layer, in example, you can see that we have the security tools. Okay, your firewall, IDS, IPS, encryptions. Okay. Now, what basically a technical layer we are doing? So we are trying to provide prevention from unauthorized access. Okay, or we want to detect some malicious activity. Here, what we are protecting, so simply we are protecting the digital, you can say that the digital attacks vector of, yeah, the digital attack vector from that we are providing protection. For that, proper configuration and maintenance are critical, because if we are working in this environment where we are SOC and all, the configuration that is an important thing. Okay. Then we have physical security measure. What is there in physical security control? So physical security controls protect hardware and infrastructure from physical threat. Okay. Example we have like include access control, surveillance cameras, and secured facilities. Physical control is more on more on providing the complete information security. Here we are creating the rules that who can access the resource physically or not. Simple. Then we have administrative and policy control. Administrative control involves security policies, procedure, and staff training. The established rule is responsibility for maintaining the security, regular audit, awareness program, reinforce organization security culture. Okay, so just give a second. Just give a second, guys. Okay. So here in administrative control, basically here the what we say the policies and procedure. Mm, these things are created, implemented, and monitored from here from your administrative control. Then what is the benefit of DID defense in depth? It provides multiple layers of defense, making it harder to attackers to succeed. Okay, as we have our security in different layers. Layer involve your uh yeah layer involve your technical layer, physical layer, administrative layer. So here the it's very hard that attack can successfully done until unless someone will not break minimum two layers. Okay, so it allows for early detection and containment of security incident. The organization can minimize the damage and recover more quickly from attacks. Now, what are the challenges and limitations? Implementing multiple layers can increase the complexity as well as the cost, and the overlapping controls requires careful integration to avoid gaps of or conflicts. Then we have continuous update and management are necessary to adapt to evolving threats. Okay, and what is the best practice for effective DID? We regularly assess vulnerabilities and update the security control accordingly. So, on a fixed duration, or we need to assess our whole environment to find the vulnerability. Okay, then ensure all layers are properly configured and integrated, and then promote security awareness and training among all employees. For conclusion, we can write that defense in depth remains a fundamental strategy in cybersecurity defense. As threats evolve, layered security approach must adopt and improve, and organizations should adapt a proactive, comprehensive security posture for resilience. Okay, so this is all about defense in depth. Okay, so this is a basic concept. Although when we are talking about defense in depth, so here we have also a ability to move, okay, to add new things. So you can also think in that way. The first analogy what I have shared, just make that you keep that in your mind. The defense in depth is more on providing security, providing the real security instead of acting for security. Okay. Then now we will talk about ISO 27001. Just give a second. Okay, ISO 27001. This term you usually find below the company title. Okay, usually that if any organization is that ABC Tech Solution, so they usually write this ISO 27001 certified. Okay, so ISO 5000 certified. These things they will write. Today we will understand what is that. Okay, ISO stands for International Standard Organization. So ISO 27001 is a standard international standard for information security management system. In short, ISMA. So it's a benchmark, or you can say that yeah, in, it's an international standard for what? So for information security and management. Whenever we are managing or we are dealing with any information, so ISO 27001 is like a requirement. Okay. It provides a framework for organization to manage the sensitive information securely. Adopting ISO 27001 helps demonstrate a committed to information security best practice. Okay. Now, what is the profit of this ISO 27001? First thing you need to understand, as an individual, you are not going to get this certification. For you, this is not important. This is nothing. Okay. As an organization, this is a paper of trust. Okay. Once you have these things, ISO 27001 or NISTC also, so your client can trust you. If you have this certification, means you have passed that specific criteria, which is important to manage the data securely. Okay. Now, purpose and benefits. So the primary purpose of ISO 27001 is to protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. Basically, our CIA tried. Okay, and implementing this ISO 27001 can improve organizational risk management and reduce security benches, and it also enhances the stakeholder confidence and can provide a competitive advantage. Now, what is the scopes of ISO 27001? So it applies to any organization regardless of size or industry, and it covers all type of information including digital, physical, and intellectual property. Okay, now here we have some key terms. What is digital information? physical information and intellectual property or IPs. Okay, so digital information, any data which is stored or managed in digital format means it is in a storage device. So that will come as digital data. Okay, these data have usually two types: data in rest, data in motion. Then we have physical data, data which is not in system or network, which is in pen, paper. So that is your physical data. After that, we have intellectual property. It can be in digital format as well as physical format, but these things need to be treated separately. Now, what this thing, intellectual property means anything that completely belongs to you only. That is your intellectual property. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So the standard required defining the scope of ISMS. Okay, based on organizational context and needs. Now, what are the key components of ISO 27001? Well, this image is there. The standard adopt a risk-based approach to identify and treat information security risks. It emphasizes leadership, planning, support, uh, operations, performance evaluation, and continuous improvement. And the MXA include a comprehensive set of controls to address identify the risks. Okay. The ISO 27001 implementation process. So organizations typically start with a gap analysis to assess current security control against the standard. A risk assessment is then conducted to identify the vulnerabilities and prioritize the controls. Then the process includes establishing policy, implementing controls, training staff, and conducting audits. Okay, now here we have the certification process. So certification involves an external audit by the certifier body to verify the compliances with the standard. The organization must demonstrate effective implementation of ISMS and continuous improvement in maintaining certification required regular surveillance, audit, and ongoing awareness to the standard. Okay. Now, what are roles and responsibility here? So, top management must provide the leadership and allocate the resource for effective ISMS implementation, and design security officer or team often manage day-to-day security activity, and all employees have a role in maintaining the security awareness and adhering to policy. Okay, just a second, guys. Just a second, guys. Okay, great. So your role and responsibilities are completed. Then we have challenges in ISO 27001. So first we have resistance to change and lack of management commitment can hinder the implementation. Then ensuring continual improvement required ongoing efforts and reduce the yeah and yeah requires and ongoing efforts and resource allocation. Then customizing control to fit the organization context while maintaining the compliances can be complex. Okay, these are the challenges. Then what is the future trends and developments? So ISO 27001 continue to evolve to address the emerging technologies like cloud computing and IoT. Then integration with other management systems such as ISO 9001 or ISO 14001 is necessary and common. And greater emphasis is placed on risk management, privacy, and incident response recently updated. Okay. Now, this ISO 27001, this is a basic standard for India till now. When we are talking about this compliances, so here you need to understand few more things. Okay. In India, ISO 27001 is benchmark, but when you are dealing with some other data, for example, in European Union, they follow GDPR for health in more and west. There is H- HIPPA. Okay, so these things, these frameworks are there. Simply, there is a concept that you need to follow the this framework of the country from where the data belongs. Okay, it is not like कि तुम ये इंडिया के फ्रेमवर्क पे फॉर एग्जांपल किसी चीज के लिए इंडिया अलाउ कर रहा है कि ओके आईएसओ 27001 पे तुम ये एक्सेस कर सकते हो एंड इफ यू विल follow the same and you are dealing with US data, so you are not allowed to do that actually. Okay, great. Now we will move to the last topic of today's session, which is our NIST CSF. Okay. NIST Cybersecurity Framework CSF is a set of industry standard and best practices for managing cybersecurity risks. Okay. So NIST basically here stands for National Institute of Standard and Technology. Okay. So NIST Institute of Standard and Technology. CSF is your cyber security framework. So we call this as NIST CSF. Okay. So it was developed by National Institute of Standard and Technology to help organizations improve their cybersecurity posture. So now, this framework is flexible, allowing organizations of all sizes and industries to adopt and implement its guidelines effectively. Okay. Now, what is the purpose and goal of this framework? So, the primary purpose of NSTCSF is to provide a common language for managing cybersecurity risk. Okay, as we have in cybersecurity, we have lot of frameworks. In if you will follow the GRC, you will notice that we don't have any common things. Now we have something, but previously we don't have any common benchmark. Okay, we usually follow the CIA tribe, but the problem with CIA tribe is that that will give you a broad idea. Okay, CI means is maintaining CI tried, but how? Okay. We are dealing with different kind of data. In every data, the same analogy cannot be worked. Okay. Hmm. So for that, this NIST comes and it provides a common language. Then it aims to help organization identify, protect, detect, uh, to respond and recover from a cyber security threats. Okay, so these are in core. These are the core actually. Okay, these are the core of this CSF. Then ultimately, the framework seeks to enhance the resilience of organizational system against cyber attacks. What are the core components of this framework? So NIST CSF is composed of five core functions, which is identify, protect, detect, response, and recover. These functions provide a high level strategic view of the life cycle of cybersecurity management. Okay. Each function includes the categories and subcategories and detail specific cybersecurity outcomes activity. So the identify function, what is that? The identify functions help organization understand their cybersecurity risks and assets. It involves activities such as asset management, risk assessment, and governance. And proper identification enables the targeted defense and informed decision making. Then we have protect function. Okay. The protect function focus on implementing safeguards to ensure the delivery of critical service. It include access control, awareness training, and data security and maintenance. Okay. Effective protection reduce the likelihood of impact of cybersecurity incidents. Then we have detect function. The function involves establishing activity to identify the cybersecurity events promptly. It includes the continuous monitoring, detection process, and anomaly analysis. And rapid detection is vital for minimizing damage and we have facilitating quick response. Then we have respond functions. The response functions outlines action taken after detecting a cybersecurity event. It encompasses response planning, communication analysis, and mitigation. Effective response helps organization the impact and prevent future incident. Then we have the last recover function. The recover function helps organization to restore normal operation after an incident. It involves recovery planning, improvement, and communication with stakeholders. Efforts aims to resume service swiftly and strengthen defense against further attack. Okay. Now, what is the benefit of this? Benefits of adopting this NIST CSR. First, we are implementing the framework enhance and organizational security, uh, and risk management. It fosters better communication among stakeholders uh, through a common language and standard. Then NIST-CSF is a valuable tool for continuous improvement and alignment cybersecurity strategy with business objective. Okay. So this is all about your NIST-CSF. Any doubt in these three? Okay, great. So if no one having doubt, can we bind up this session here? Okay, great. So thank you guys. I'm winding up this session here. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, can you repeat the what we submit
In
for next week for
okay, for
review?
next week, complete your project, create one PPT. Okay. In PPT, don't add all the literature. Simply you can add the serial wise screenshot. I will see the PPT and I will see the practical demonstration. These two things is my requirement. Okay.
Okay. And sir, the rules are uh, different for which you given or same?
No, no, different. Minimum 10. What I will recommend go with 15, but minimum 10 type of rule are important.
Okay, sir.
Okay, great.
Or okay, sir. Or sir, in our group, uh, two-person are not responding.
You can leave them, no issue. If
Okay,
they are not responding, leave them. You both can complete the things.
okay,
Okay, great.
So some teammates are not responding.
If teammates are not responding, just leave them. Okay, individually you can do your work. We cannot do anything if someone is not responding. Okay, maybe he's not active or serious. So let it be. Okay, any more question, guys?
sir. Someone enter questions in chat.
Oh, about 10 rules will be fine to be added in Google. 10 by the team or 10 by the individual. 10 by the team is okay. No, no, I'm not saying that 10 by individual. By a team, 10 rule is okay. So why companies implement NIST framework, NIST CSF framework? Actually, NIST CSF, look, you have a certification of ISO 27001. Okay. So they are giving you a literature, not the technical aspect. They are saying that, okay, you need to do these things, then we will give you the certification that you are secure. But the technical details usually guided or given by this NIST CSF. Okay, they are providing a comprehensive. In fact, they are providing that types of rules that you need to add in your firewall. Okay, so in NIST, for example, in if it in ISO 27001, it is written that the organization must have a active network security. Okay. Abhi active network security, what we will include in active network security? That is it again technical question, as well as that is also uh, a kind of question that have many answers. Okay. So active network security, firewall is also active network security tool. Then we have IDS, IPS, a complete stock is there. But the NIST CSF will give you an idea that what the maximum, what the minimum. Okay. Is that clear? Any other questions, guys? Okay, so if no questions are there, so I'm binding up the session here. Thank you for